The Influencer's Edge is brought to you by the Rapid Sales Accelerator. If you're ready to skyrocket your sales by 30% or more in just 90 days, then you need to claim your free training right now. You'll learn 4 words that will compel your prospects to trust you like they were children within the first 3 to 5 minutes of any conversation across any platform and any medium. You'll learn how to give your prospects objection amnesia, to crush objections like, I need to talk to my spouse, or I need more time to think it over, or it's too expensive. If you'd like to claim your free training now, go to www.paulrossbook.com. Do it before your competition does it now. Welcome to the Influencer's Edge. This is the place where you come to get the latest breakthroughs, cutting-edge insights, tools, and techniques to leapfrog over the pack in sales, persuasion, and influence. Be sure you visit our website at www.theinfluencersedge.com. And while you're there, subscribe to us via your favorite network. Now sit back, tune in, and enjoy today's episode. All right, welcome back to the Influencer's Edge. The 10% ranked, we are ranked 10% in the world globally. How we did that, I don't know, but thanks to all of you. Today, my guest is Rahul Alim. I know I got that name right because we discussed it in the Green Room chat before we went live. Welcome to the show, Rahul.
Hey, thank you for having me.
Now, I'm just looking at your hoodie. It's let's get a shot of it. It's
GSD.
And there's a dollar sign. So what does GSD stand for?
It's the name of my coaching mentorship program, which is a spinoff of our agency called Get Shit Done. So it's really the sweater signifies like a culture where we have a mode and we're always on. Everything we want to do, we just get shit done.
That's the champion's mind. I love it. So let me speed through your bio. Rahul Alim is the founder of Customs Creatives, a digital marketing agency that connects companies with their dream clients. He's helped brands such as Realtor.com, Geico, that's the one with the lizard, right? Advertise.com, and Reach Local, and thousands of local businesses. Let's talk, everyone's heard about these big brands, but local businesses, is that a different ball game than when you're dealing with a known brand?
Oh yeah, wildly different. 2 totally different target audiences. One in our world we call enterprise clients. You deal with multiple decision makers from CEOs, CMOs, like all the fancy titles. And then when you're dealing with like your local businesses, the everyday businesses you walk by in strip malls, it's a lot different because you're working one-on-one with the owners. You're working with a limited budget. You're trying to drive them results, try to pack their businesses with more business. So they can stay in business, right? Because I mean, I believe the stat is 90% of every businesses that starts will be out of business within the first 3 years.
Yeah.
So whenever we implement our marketing, we know what's on the line for them. And we always want to do our best. That's why we only take on projects or clients regardless of budget. It doesn't have to necessarily always have to be a big budget, but we just need to know that we can deliver and then we're comfortable going forward with those clients.
Cool. So you have over 20 years of experience. Pause right there. You don't look old enough to have 20 years of experience doing anything, my man.
Either I look young
I'm gonna
or
call bullshit. I'm gonna call bullshit on that one.
Okay, like if you look up when I bought my domain name, it'll put the evidence in it, and when we incorporated in 2004. So there's evidence on the internet and also on my articles of incorporation too. But anyways, yeah, we started in 2004, so it's been a long ride. Got to see the go away from traditional all to digital for the most part. I mean, I don't even think Netflix was a thing back then. I know Facebook wasn't even a business when I started. So seen a lot, and it's been a fun ride.
Before I go through I'll go through the rest of your bio, and then I'll jump to a question that raises in my mind. 20 years of experience running his agency. He now coaches agency owners. So you're not just dealing with businesses who you want come to you generating more business, but now you're coaching agency owners to grow 6-figure businesses. So that's a whole different business. So you've got a business model, as I see it, you've got a three-pronged business model, helping legacy brand names generate business, local business owners, and then a coaching program where you coach other marketing agencies to be successful. Is that an accurate
Yeah. Yeah,
portrayal?
that is right. Yeah, the marketing stuff. I mean, essentially, we're just teaching people what we already do. Now, in terms of how do I repeat the knowledge, and we created a program where we Zoom with them. We recorded a lot of content. We have on-demand help. We have coaches that help them that are a part of my team. So we kind of take somebody who, whether they want to quit their 9 to 5 and they're sick and tired of having the boss breathing down their neck and they want to do their own thing or do the side hustle, or if they're already an established agency, and they're in a rut and they're stuck, because that's just what happens when you run your own business, right? You need to be in the right rooms, the right environment, and whatnot. So we help provide those kind of tools, assets, motivation, confidence, systems. I mean, we've done this for some pretty large companies. We've done it for some very small companies, and we just like to give our knowledge when people join our program.
It sounds to me like you have a unique challenge and also opportunity. You have to have great people skills and manage your team, but you have to be caught up technically. You have to be able to do both. So which one of those came most naturally to you, and which one was more that there was a greater learning curve?
The people skills is always going to be a learning curve, or at least early on it was, because I didn't anticipate to have to basically be a leader. I played sports, so I was used to sports leadership. Business leadership's a little bit different. It's a little, there you go. It's a little bit different. You have to be a little bit softer. There's this department called HR that makes you, right? So yeah, the people skills of being able to deal with sensitive situations, motivating people when they're not motivated, finding the right people and talent and skills, and then you have to pay them for their time, right? Because they're not doing it for the kids and the rainbows, right? They're doing it for the money.
They're
And I'll
not.
be, yeah, yeah. And I wish I can pay them in rainbows or Skittles, but yeah, that was probably one of the more challenging things. But as far as keeping up with tech and keeping up with what's currently going on and being effective, it's either, I don't want to call it natural. I just kind of keep up with it. I try to keep, like the Wayne Gretzky quote, skate where the puck is going to be. So I just try to
Got it.
anticipate as much as possible. But even if we take away the tech for anybody who's in sales or marketing out there, I mean, think about the tech that's not being used that's older. So I mean, there's still a big gap and deficit with when people aren't using what exists to them. So to really go into, like, I know AI is the big trend and robotics is really big right now. Virtual augmented reality will be, I mean, pretty soon we'll probably be able to like shop at Costco in our own home, because we'll be able to walk through the doors and have that virtual augmented reality at some point.
Can I
Uh,
virtually pick up women at the virtual cost?
maybe you might need to watch that movie Her with Joaquin Phoenix, and that might be the closest you'll get to that. But anyways, yeah, I think keeping up with it is fun. I mean, it's very easy to do with YouTube and all the assets around here, um, but even the old legacy shit, like nobody's even, like, a business owner doesn't have a CRM. They have no way to contact all their clients
Are
with a
you
click of a
kidding?
button. Yeah, there's lots and lots of businesses. Like, go to any restaurant and ask them, hey, what CRM do you use? And when was the last time you sent a text message with an offer to your clients? They'll probably not know what you're talking about.
That's sad. That's really sad.
It,
I want to finish this, and I want to ask you this. We'll get to the questions you submitted and the rest of it.
Mhm.
I want to talk about AI because someone
Mhm.
who we both know, a wonderful guy by the name of Dustin. About 2 years ago, I was on his boat and he said, "Let me show you something, Paul." And he showed me the first model of Chat GPT. He said, "Go ahead, ask it a question." So I typed something in and it answered back. And I thought, what? I tried it again. I said, "This is someone on the other end. You're pulling my leg. You're set something up." He said, "No, I didn't." And then he showed me an interview with this Google programmer who left because he said the Google AI was sentient. And I had a combination of feeling excited and feeling ill. So, talk about how you use AI in helping business owners and
what the hell voice AI, or tell me what you're doing with AI.
Yeah, I mean, for AI, you have to use it yourself to be able to feel confident to present it and leverage other people to use it. So I'm a person of I practice what I preach. So everyday life, I write emails. If I want AI to write it, I use ChatGPT or Claude. It'll write my emails. It'll respond to my emails for me. I write lead magnets, sales letters. I mean, you name it. If it's a Facebook post, an Instagram post, LinkedIn post, so sky's the limit in how you want to use it, the versatility. You just have to think, you just have to remember to go to ChatGPT or one of these AI tools, just to remember that it exists. Because sometimes when, like, have you have friends that says, hey, do you know how to get to so and so location? It's like they forgot about Google. And sometimes humans do too. It's like if they're struggling with content, or even if you wanted to ask, like yesterday, I wanted to KuCoin, this wallet or this exchange had some issues with coins falling off their exchange. So just talk to ChatGPT to find out, how do you get a hold of customer support? What do you do if you miss the deadline? And it literally repeats it back to you as if it's your knowledge base. Now, let me flip it for a second. Let's go into voice AI. That's something I really like. And especially when it comes to selling to small businesses that sell to other individuals to produce commerce, right? Like I went referenced before, people don't have a database, and if they do, they're not using it. Is that fair to say?
Yeah.
Okay. So if I have 1,000 people and I know I'm the business owner, if I just call those 1,000, I can improve my life. But then they're not doing it the next day, the next day, and the next day. Why is it? It's because they don't want to make those calls. They're burned out. They don't like it. Their salespeople are burned out. They're just, and a lot of people, salespeople out there, we're on to some of you. You
Yeah.
see, you fucking lie. You don't always tell the truth. You say you made a call and you didn't. But AI doesn't give a shit. It has no emotion. It'll do what you want it to do. You can train it in seconds, not minutes, just seconds, and it only improves. So we can deploy a campaign for 30,000 calls in a day, or 10,000 in an hour, whatever it is we want, however big the database is. And it's wild what it can do. It can literally produce meetings with people, whether you're a wealth manager, a lawyer, a doctor, a dentist, a marketing agency, a salesperson. It's literally your personal assistant on steroids. So no, say good, like no more training a personal assistant or a sales assistant that will have emotion, not work 24/7. You can have all those things by all means to support you. I'm not saying delete them out of your life. I'm just saying the advantages are clearly in front of us, and it's going to happen whether people make their move now or they decide to procrastinate and make their move in a couple months or in a year. It's just happening regardless. So that's what excites me. I love voice AI.
Let me push back,
Mhm.
because my audience pushes back for I'm pushing back on behalf of my audience.
I love it. Let's do
Uh,
it.
so I get these AI robocalls. Hi, can you hear me? This is Cindy.
Right.
And I always say, what are you wearing, Cindy? And then I said, Cindy, take off your panties. And so I know those calls. I hear them and I can tell. I just hang up. So
Mhm.
how do you, is that the kind of thing you're talking about? That kind of outbound AI call?
It'll be an outbound AA call, maybe not as unpolished as you just described. We want to identify ourselves as not as a human, as an AI on behalf of the business owner trying to
Oh,
improve the support. So if the AI hypothetically said this, hey, is this Paul? Great. This is just Rahul's AI assistant giving you a call to maybe plan a meeting with him. Do you got a minute? And saying the purpose of the meeting is to discuss your marketing campaigns that you guys are running right now.
right,
Are you available next week for 15 minutes?
right.
Right. So we're not cold calling. We're not trying to annoy. We're not trying to skirt any kind of regulatory laws of calling
Yeah, that
outbound.
was my next question.
Yeah, we want to, our whole thing is it own the database, make sure it's opted in. And if you do whatever you do with it, I mean, that's up to each individual business, right? You can always go buy a list from Dun and Bradstreet or Axiom Data and call that leads, even though it's technically cold calling. You can have AI do it, you can do it, etc. But we're not that. We don't buy lists, go randomly call people. Well, we just work within, we lure people to us with lead magnets. We call it the honeypot. We just want to get you something of massive value, whether it's free or like $10 item to get into our ecosystem at high volume. and then we work our way up the ladder to earn people's like ears, eyeballs, and trust.
I like what you said. You've got to earn it. And
Yeah.
because I had a guest on, I was supposed to have her on, and she flaked for some reason. But her whole thing is the element of overwhelm and confusion and uncertainty that people have because they're getting bombarded by
Mhm.
so many messages
Mhm.
that their attention span is essentially that of a mosquito or a goldfish. And they have so many messages coming their way that it's very difficult to get attention. So even if that message, doesn't that outbound message have to have an element of copywriting in it? I'm not saying you have
Mhm.
to have a sensational headline, but there's got to be something contained within that messaging that gives value just to listen to it.
Yeah, I mean, you have to look at it as if we want to get into the specifics, like if it's a client that's active, they're going to be more prone to listening because they're going to catch like, hey, this is Rahul's team or custom creatives team. They're already going to know us because they're actively doing business. Now, if it's somebody with some distance, meaning like they're a year old and nobody's talked to them, yeah, we'll have some form of offer and copywriting to hook their attention, just because we know that that's the way the game works, right? No, I mean, if it's just like even if a human called, if somebody said, "Hey, dear sir, this is Rahul from Noida. Like we sell stocks. Can I interest you?" Obviously, you're going to hang up there. It's a terrible,
Right.
terrible pitch. But when it's something a little bit more subtle, it sounds a little bit more opening and friendly, and reminding them that they had opted in. Because we do this as humans, so we just replicate it as AI bots. Like, hey, is this was this Paul? Hey, it's just Rahul over at the GSD. You had opted in. We connected about a year ago. I know it's been a while, but we've been working on some really cool marketing stuff. And you down to take a peek if it can help your agency? That would be wonderful. Awesome. You have about 10 minutes next week? Sweet. Let's just book you on a Zoom. So the
So
AI
let's
can do
say
that.
So let's say hypothetically, theoretically, I have
Mhm.
another business under the name Ross Jeffries. Everyone knows. It's an open secret that Paul Ross is
Mhm.
all Ross Jeffries, where I teach people to get laid. Can you sample my voice so it sounds like me who's making the
Mhm.
call?
You could, yeah, yeah. I mean, I don't use my voice on the outbounds. I just use either sometimes I use a female voice or a British male. So there's accent changes that you can have. The reason I don't use my voice is because I don't actually want them to know or think it's me. Otherwise, they might think it's actually me, even though it says this is Rahul's AI assistant.
Ah,
Yeah, but I make videos right now. Like, I mean, I just upload my photo. I recorded my voice, put it in some AI apps, and I can spit out video. All I do is go to ChatGPT and write a 30-second script that will get some engagement for Instagram, talk about sales topic that you like, let's say NLP or objection handling. Just make
right.
it poppy in 30 seconds. Then I take the script from ChatGPT, put it into a voice app. It'll use my voice to read it. Then I move it into another app to that has my photo library, and it'll just move my lips and my body.
You're so wait. So you don't have to use any kind of prompt or memory or write out a script or even appear on the frickin' camera.
No, not if you don't want to. No. All the capabilities are here. There's so many videos. There's so many people on like that do this thing called faceless TikToks or faceless Instagrams, where all they're doing is using these tools, these AI tools to bombard with content. Some pop and go viral, and they make whatever money they make by doing all this stuff.
That's insane. I know there now AI. So when I was doing some research with my partner in our AI venture,
Mhm.
I know there are AI social influencer female models. They're
Oh
competing
yeah.
with AI and they're super hot and they have guys sending them tens of thousands of dollars every month. They're making a fortune. And they could be guys. They could be guys living in their basement in Bangalore.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean the AI models, I mean they're not even real people. So I mean they're just beautiful pieces of artwork and the eye candy that people want to see, right? So yeah, there was one particular model I forgot. I didn't screenshot her or anything, but the reason I remember her is because it got advertised that this fake person, this fake AI model is all over billboards and making like 20, $30,000 a month, just for her likeness. I'm like, wow, that's absolutely remarkable.
That's crazy. Look, I started online marketing in 1994 as the Ross Jeffries persona, guy's
Hmm.
avatar when we got seduction.com. And back then, any of this would have been a fantasy. Maybe Arthur C. Clarke,
Hmm.
science fiction writer, someone would have imagined it. But
Hmm.
this is just crazy, crazy tech. How the heck, what were you doing before this?
I used to work in credit card processing as my first job, selling credit card machines to local businesses. Because like my one of my best friends and my roommate in college, like he was a little bit older, so when he graduated, he went right into sales. And then I dropped out of college and then followed right in his lead. And then we just had a bunch of friends doing the same stuff. It was kind of like never going to work again. We just had a lot of fun. I was a terrible salesperson too at first. Like this was like the scariest shit in the world.
Really? Yeah.
I
Why do
would
you
like
say that?
if you would have met me in my teenage years up until like 22, I would say like I didn't like talking to people.
What
Like
was the big shift?
because I was gonna get fired if I didn't, so I had to talk to people.
Good motive.
So yeah, it was a pretty good motivator. So
That's
then
good motivator. Like you eat
yeah,
or you talk, but not you.
yeah, and that's why I like sales a lot and salespeople. It's just like you can treat it like sport because it's a what have you done for me lately type business. It's like if you have a bad week, then like you could be like vilified. If you have if you're always slow and steady, you might be like going unnoticed. But if you're always performing above and beyond,
Yeah.
you're looked up to not only from significance and pride standpoint, but then also like think about the things that you can do for like with me as the business owner, business development and revenue is obviously really critical for us. But we have people that have children and some may even have grandchildren that work for us. And it's like we're providing for a lot of good people, and they're able to
Understood.
do the same. They can go spend money on Christmas presents and all that kind of stuff. So that's kind of like the meaningful stuff that's behind the scenes of all the greed and money that people try to make. It's just there is like the emotion of the people, you know what I mean? So we do it for our people, and then we know we have a good product that we sell, so we don't really have any fear really pushing ourselves as hard as we need to. We're pretty confident in our team and our capabilities. So that helps a lot. Because I know in the marketing world, it's a snake oil world right now. It's like what
It
credit card.
really is. Can I pause just a minute?
Yeah.
It super is because everyone the big meme, the big trope is thought leader, and you have all these legacy marketers
Mm,
like Russell Runson. I'll
mm,
call him Russell Runson
yeah.
and Roni Tobbins and all these other
Hmm.
people who have the next best thing and promising they're going to make you stand out from the crowd and be a marketing millionaire. And I'm just thinking they're recycling and repackaging the same old stuff. I don't see any innovation whatsoever.
Yeah, I mean, it's basically taking advantage of people's shiny objects syndrome. So, I mean, there's a lot of those out there. I mean, but at the end of the day, the heart of it all is a lot of people do a lot of outsourcing. A lot of people who start a marketing agency don't take the time to craft and hone their skill. They'll make promises that are undeliverable,
I see it.
uh, and they'll charge a lot, and then a lot of people will charge a little. So I mean, the price is really not the most important necessarily part. It makes it challenging on a go forward because obviously people like us that feel like we've been in business for 20 years, work with some pretty cool people, lots of businesses. So we've built a reputation that we know what we're doing. But it does create some skepticism, but that's part of the game, right? We got to
Can
stand
I
out.
ask you about something? They must have been banned by the FTC or Instagram, but I used to say on Instagram, I will bring you 50 new coaching clients and or you don't pay, and I'll write you a
Mhm.
check for $1,000 if we don't get you the results. And I saw it had to be 10 different coaches or people offering that
Mhm.
deal. And many of them were using the same blonde model with a British accent. Maybe she was an
Mm.
AI. What happened to those guys? Because they all disappeared. I stopped seeing them entirely. Did they get prosecuted or what?
No, I don't. I mean, maybe they did. Maybe they got fined. I'm not sure. But I still see those out there. Get 30 clients in 30 days or you don't pay type stuff.
How
I
can
mean,
they make that? Is that bogus? Is that a con?
I don't know if it's necessarily a con, but I also don't know if it's like kind of like when a car lot or a car dealership advertises like the souped up Escalade, and when you get there, it's gone. They have other things to sell you. I don't know
Uh-huh.
if this is that offer for them. I can't speak on their behalf because I don't know who we're referencing, but a lot of times it could be just the hook to get the attention to break the walls of the prospect, right? Sometimes if that's their aggressive messaging that they're trying to go with, and they're just trying to get somebody to inquire and then understand the needs, then put them into the right situation. And if it's that particular offer, so be it. If it's something else, so be that. But I don't know. I don't know. Like people, marketers just get a little creative, and it sounds like
Yeah.
those guys.
It's called bait and switch in my day.
Yeah, yeah, that's what I'm getting at. It is a bait and switch type of marketing message, that's for
How would
sure.
you, so let's say you're talking to a younger person. For me, a younger person is virtually anybody with a heartbeat. But let's say you're talking to a younger person, they want to start a business. What would you
Hmm.
tell them? Like get a job and collect a W-2, or what would you tell someone? What
If
reasons would you give someone not to start a business first?
Because it's easy. Like it's definitely the hardest thing I've ever fucking done in my life. Like it's hard. It's really hard. And I've started new businesses along the way. It gets simpler, but it's really fucking hard. Um, the first thing I would say, I don't really care about what age anybody is. I really think that people should either, there's two things, spend your money and go get help right away. It's the fastest path to success.
Correct.
Number two is go find some company or somebody that you can intern for, especially for the younger people that don't have any financial responsibilities, that you live with mom and dad, or you have a side hustle that can kind of get you by in life for a year. Intern for 1 fucking year. Forget what the counselors say in college because they're full of shit.
Or they wouldn't
Don't
be counselors.
Yeah, exactly. So I mean, like when somebody wanted to intern for me and I asked them what skills they have in marketing, goose egg, fucking zero. And then I said, well, our guys will train you. Don't you worry, they're there. We're gonna expect you to be here 3 days a week, all day, all those 3 days, and it's gonna be 6 weeks. And they're like, no problem. What do I get paid? And I'm like, just like your skills, you get nothing, and then they didn't want to intern. So I did the exact opposite. I interned for 40 hours a week. I even dropped out of school to do it. I'm not saying that's the recommendation for you. You guys make your own decisions, but I think college is just the biggest legal
Me
scam
too. Me
for in
too.
the fucking world.
Me
But
too.
anyways, yeah. And then I interned for 6 months for a sports agency that represented specifically retired athletes. Muhammad Ali was one of them.
I
Um,
love
I
him. He's
I
my
got
hero.
I got to meet him and he signed a poster in front of my face.
You're lying.
No, I did meet him and I hung out with him by myself, hand in the air, right hand in the air, for 8 hours. And my job was to make sure he had the energy to be able to sign 10,000 pieces of memorabilia from boxing gloves to
Pause,
shorts.
pause,
Yeah.
pause, pause, pause.
Hmm.
You met the GOAT, the
Oh
greatest of
yeah.
all time. One of
Oh
my
yeah.
childhood. Did he have the Parkinson's at that
Mhm.
point?
Oh yeah, oh yeah, yeah, yeah. He had a shake, and you can understand him. You just had to lean in, but you could understand what he was saying at that era. Because my internship was probably around 2002, like maybe 2001, 2002, around that time. Um, and that's yeah, he was a little shaky. And funny story about that, there was a bunch of interns. Like this company had like loved interns because they loved the free labor. But it was a fun environment, and we went to go get food at In and Out. It was on Miracle Mile, was where this location was, where the
I
agency
know what that
was.
is. I live
Yeah.
in LA.
Yeah. And we went down to the In and Out. I think it was off La Brea or something. So it's not very far, but there's a lot of traffic with all the stoplights and stuff in Hollywood. And anyways, we bring food for the whole company, and we got a separate bag for Muhammad Ali's shit, and we forgot his bag at the counter by the time we got back. So
Oh,
me and this intern were just like joking around. We're like, we get everybody's food, but the most important person in this room. So we ran back and got it, but we're just having a nice little laugh that like, how on earth did we forget Muhammad Ali's food on the counter?
I think the biggest
Yeah.
thing you talked about is commitment. Just
Hmm.
absolute 100% burn the boats, burn the bridges, commit fully. You
It's
can't have a plan B. You
It's funny. It's literally funny you said that. Like one of my posts earlier today, it's literally this: burn the boats and own your island.
Ah, I
I
want them
lit-
on my show. Can you make an introduction?
No, I posted that myself.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
No, it's
yeah.
true. But I think, yeah, I'm just going to make a generalization. Generation Z, what is it? Y? What generation are we on?
I have no idea. I don't
But
know.
I don't think they're willing to make those commitments anymore. I just don't.
I mean, I mean, there's diamonds in the rough out there. There are people that have good values, that are raised well, they understand commitment. A lot of them are athletes because I attract athletes because I love that mentality and focus because
Yeah.
there's nothing better than somebody who's willing to throw up and yeah, that's awesome. I have to get a copy of that.
You
I
have
like
it or you don't have
no,
it?
I don't have it. No. But yeah, no, I love the athletic mindset. It's just a matter of like the what you're willing to sacrifice and put your body and mentality through to be get a result is just remarkable. So that's
My
what I look
train,
for in business.
yeah, my trainer taught me mental toughness. The mental
Hmm.
toughness she taught me in our physical training, I would not have been able to get through the last 2 years without that mental toughness. And you obviously have it. And I would guess that you have the rare ability to pick the right people on your team who have it and don't need. There, are you familiar with a book? And I forget the title of the book, but one of the main messages was get the right people on your bus. Before you
Hmm.
decide where you're driving, get the right people on your bus. Are you familiar with this message?
It's good to great. Yeah. I'm familiar with the
Great.
message, haven't read the book. My business partner is like an avid reader.
Yeah.
He just kind of gives me the golden nuggets. I don't read much, honestly.
No?
Never been a really big reader. I was when I was starting my business, and while I was a salesperson for other people, I read a lot of sales books. Um, but after that, I honestly skim a lot. Like I don't read much. I listen to podcasts here and there. Um, but yeah, I haven't read a book where I sat down and went cover to cover in like 20 years.
Wow.
Yeah, it's been a while. Yeah, I skimmed
Well,
through a lot.
all right. We are actually at more than the 30-minute mark. You've been a wonderful guest. Couple things. First and foremost, people are going to want to stay in the conversation with you. What do you have? What's the method where they can keep talking to you?
Yeah, go to Facebook. That'll be the easiest, or LinkedIn. And my Facebook group is called the GSD. It's completely free. I'm in there almost every single day, like either doing a video or posting some information. It's joingsd.com/group. And again, once you enter, if you guys are a marketer or a salesperson, we have a lot of free shit in there. We have a lot of student success stories that are inspirational for others, and also I'll give you a free marketing course if you want it. It's all yours for free.
Okay. Stay in the green room with me because I want to have a brief chat. Our guest has been Rahul Alim, and it's guests like Rahul who keep us, again, I don't believe, I don't know how we did that, top 10% globally. Thank you. And my audience blows my mind how great you all are. And we'll see you on the next episode of The Influencer's Edge. We'll be interviewing Joe. No, I'm kidding. We can't. If only. All right. Bye. See you in the next episode.
The Influencer's Edge is brought to you by the Rapid Sales Accelerator. If you're ready to skyrocket your sales by 30% or more in just 90 days, then you need to claim your free training right now. You'll learn 4 words that will compel your prospects to trust you like they were children within the first 3 to 5 minutes of any conversation across any platform and any medium. You'll learn how to give your prospects objection amnesia, to crush objections like, I need to talk to my spouse, or I need more time to think it over, or it's too expensive. If you'd like to claim your free training now, go to www.paulrossbook.com. Do it before your competition does it now. Thank you for tuning in to the Influencer's Edge, where you get the latest breakthroughs, cutting-edge insights, tools, and techniques so you can leapfrog over the pack in sales, influence, and persuasion. Remember to visit our website at www.theinfluencersedge.com to enjoy even more great episodes like this one. We look forward to seeing you again on the Influencer's Edge Show.